Welcome back to another exciting episode of Baker Day Presents. Once again, we're here in the Morgan Hall kitchens at Temple University. It's a working kitchen. You're going to hear some noises. That's how life is. I also decided it's a hot day out and I'd go without my hat, so you can see that I do in fact have hair. Today, I'm visited by a very special guest, Jason Levy. He is the Director of Student Center Operations, and we're going to make breakfast, coming right up. Well, thank you, Jason Levy, stopping by. You're going to make some breakfast with me, right?
Well, you're going to actually probably do all
I'm
the
going to make
baking.
some breakfast
Yeah,
as
so
you give me the finger all day.
I broke my finger on Saturday, and we're going to just get through it.
All right.
So you
I
get
guess
to actually do some
I
work.
have to work this episode,
Yeah.
which doesn't always happen. Usually I try to get everybody else to do the work. That's in life in general. That's what you do. You
Is
try
that
to get
you
everybody.
trying-
Yeah.
okay.
That's how you know you've made it in the world,
You
is
have
when
to-
other people do your work for you,
You
right?
have to remind my staff of that when I go back.
Good.
We'll make sure that this episode airs in the Student Center over
and over again. And remember that first part? Yeah. So why are we making breakfast?
Well, we're making breakfast because my dad and I used to make breakfast when I was young, and it was just one of those things that we did on the weekends. And I
feel
thought
like
it'd be
that's
fun.
a dadly thing.
It is a
I
dadly
make
thing.
breakfast with my daughter quite often.
Yeah.
I feel like men, we make
Barbecue.
breakfast and barbecue.
There you go.
That's like our thing, right?
Yeah, barbecue
And then I end up seeming a little less manly with my pastries, but that's a whole other story.
that's a different show altogether.
I do manly pastries. Anyways,
500-pound cakes.
right, exactly.
5,000-pound cakes.
Yeah, huge
whatever
cakes.
they are.
Can't wait to see what we're doing this year. So breakfast.
Yeah, so the point of what I talked about with you was making omelets and home fries, basically, is what I thought we would kick out today. So I want to start with the potatoes because they take the longest to cook.
They always take the longest to cook.
So I thought we would just do potatoes, a little bit of onions, a little bit of paprika, start with some butter, and just let them go for a while. And then we can either put them aside and come back to it and make the omelets, or we can just let it go for a while, and hopefully we won't run out of gas.
Hopefully we don't run out of gas.
Metaphorically or for real.
We're cooking with gas. All right,
So bunch of butter, you know.
how much is a bunch?
I usually use about a quarter of that, but you know you can use a half. It's fine. That works. Bunch of butter. Let that get going a
Do
little
its
bit.
thing?
Yeah.
Do you ever use oil? I feel like
I never use oil. I just like the butter better. I think it tastes better.
Butter better?
I like butter better. Are you really going to do this?
No, I just did, didn't I? I love butter.
I think butter tastes better than everything. It does burn, but
you
you have to just be aware of the flame,
Right.
right? So don't you know?
Don't overdo it.
So the way this used to work with my dad was he would get up before me, and he would start this at like 6:30 in the morning.
Holy cow! What
And
kind of
then
breakfast was he making at 6:30 in the morning?
He was making really good breakfast. It was, you
That's
know,
a lot of work.
home fries and
When did you
omelets.
get up? 6:40.
Like, no, like 7:45, 8 o'clock.
So he started at
So
6:30.
an hour early. Yeah, they would cook for like an hour. They would cook down and get all brown. The
God, I
onions
hope
would
ours
cook.
don't take that long.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have the magic of television to make it work.
Right.
Right. So you get the butter down, then you put the onions in, and let the
How much
onions.
onions? Because you never gave me ingredients.
I didn't
like
give you
amounts, so I'm
because you
kinda
just have to wing it. That's how breakfast
That's
works.
what we do. You, 'cause
Right?
Maybe you got 2 people you're cooking for.
Maybe
you
I have
got
4 or
50.
7.
Right.
Yeah. Not everybody cooks for 100 people like you do.
No. So we're getting pretty hot.
We're
there.
getting pretty warm.
So we want to add some onions.
Yeah, so throw some onions in there. Don't go nuts. That's great.
That's good.
Yep. And the onions just go until they get a little brown, right? Just give a little saute to get the flavor of the butter and the onions.
Can you do the flip?
I can do the flip. Well,
I can't really.
can you do the flip?
No, not really.
That's
totally
why
out
you're
of my-
a baker and
exactly.
not a sous
I
chef.
totally can't flip. I
Yeah.
try. I love the idea of the flip.
You need something more in there, like an egg.
Maybe.
You know, you got to not break the egg when you do the flip.
I can't make any promises there either.
All right. So for the sake of speed, normally we would let this cook for a while.
we got all the time in the world. Well, you got somewhere to be?
I do, but
Like
it's okay.
You'd rather be
I'd
somewhere
rather
than
be
here.
here.
Seriously.
I'd rather be here doing this.
All right. So your father would be up
So my
4
yeah.
hours ahead of you making breakfast, right?
Right.
He's milking the cows. He's
Right.
milling the flour
In
for the
suburban
pancakes, right?
Philadelphia,
Like,
right. He would get up and he would start cooking, and my mom and I, when my mom was alive, my mom and I would get up later when I was, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, and we would come down and he would have this already, and then he would have the potatoes already, and then we would come down and we'd do the toast and the omelets
He let
together.
you do toast?
He let me do toast and eggs. We don't have any toast today, but that's okay.
That's okay.
So once we got the onions cooking and they're ready to go.
They're looking pretty good,
Yeah,
right?
they're looking good. Let's just add some potatoes, and then we'll just cook them down until we can't anymore. That's great. It's perfect.
Perfect. I assume you season things, right?
Yeah, just a little bit of paprika. I'll give you this guy.
A little salt and pepper?
A little bit of salt and pepper.
Oh, I was gonna say, how do you not have salt? Like potatoes need salt,
Yeah,
right?
salt and pepper. Yeah, the salt brings the water out of the potatoes, right? So you put a little bit of salt on top.
It does. Well, here's something. Potatoes, starch in general, eats salt.
Yeah,
So like you want to make everything that's starchy way saltier than you think you need it.
right.
Because it will
It
disappear.
just sucks it
quickly.
all up.
So you can't just be like, that's enough.
That's it. That's all. No, you got to really go for it. Yeah, this beautiful form you got there.
I learned it from watching TV.
Okay, nice. Well, it's good that we come full circle.
Right, exactly. A little bit of pepper.
Yeah, a little bit of pepper, and a little bit of paprika.
A little bit of paprika.
The paprika gives it a little bit of burn, which is nice. Adds to the flavor. You get more paprika on the table than you are in the
My
thing.
grandmother would be upset. I'm Hungarian, so
Oh,
we use
you-
paprika and everything.
Everything. There you go. All right, so now we just mix it up.
that
Smells
looks-
great, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, stuff's burning already.
That's all right. It's not burn. It's just browning.
Browning's good.
Browning's okay.
Browning's okay.
Browning adds flavor. So normally I would put this on another burner and just let it cook for like an hour, 45 minutes.
Hour.
Yeah, just let it go, man. Just let it go. Burns down, cooks down. I mean,
That
gets
seems
all
like a
nice.
long
That's all right. That's all
time to
right.
cook potatoes.
Well, you got it on a real high heat. Usually we cook with a little bit lower heat and let it go for a while.
You wanted the good burn, you said.
I did, so just let it go for now.
So
You
what?
okay there?
So you're
Red
allowed to
fingers.
make toast. Were you ever allowed to make? I mean, an egg. You're allowed to do egg.
Yeah, I never made this because he always started it before I got down there. I
You
make
never
it all the
were
time
like,
now.
I'm gonna get up really early today and help my dad because I really want to.
I don't
do the
ever remember
potatoes.
saying that.
No,
No, I never really like getting up early.
you're not an early person.
I am now. I wasn't then.
You probably don't have a choice now, right?
No, I don't have a choice now. Getting to work at 7 o'clock is the norm. So I'm the early bird on my staff. Me and one of my other people, we get there early and get some work done before we open, and then everybody else gets in a little bit later.
I feel like that's when the work gets done, is before
Everybody comes.
everyone else comes
Yeah,
in and
right.
they need your attention, right?
Right. Normally.
So,
All right, so this can probably just sit for a bit.
what's some other great memories about your dad?
Well, I mean, the cool thing about my dad was that he was a cook for so long. He was in
Like,
the
is that
army.
what he did?
He was an army chef. It's not what he did for a living ever.
Really?
We owned a catering company for a few years when I was
There
younger.
you go. Then he did do it.
But
for a
it
living.
wasn't. It was a second thing. It wasn't his primary. He went in the army as a cook, and I actually followed him into the army as a cook. As soon as I left high
You were in the
school,
military?
I went in the military,
Oh, nice.
and I went in as a cook, and then did a bunch of other things, which was a lot of fun. Cooked
you-
this for 250 people.
That's it.
It's
Small
group,
platoon?
small group. Yeah, it was nice. He never was anywhere other than stateside. I never was anywhere other than stateside. We both were in similar places. He was
You're
all
like
on
the
the
right
East
age.
Coast.
You were, yeah.
Yeah,
Kinda lucked
kind of
out,
in
right?
between
There wasn't
things.
really anything
Yeah,
going on. That
it
was a
was-
good time to be in the army.
yeah.
Right?
Helped me pay for
I just lost one. It's
Help-
not the end of the world.
helped me pay for college, which was good. But Dad always did most of the cooking when I was growing up. My mom died when I was young, so it was just him and I for a while. And all I remember, not all, but a lot of what I remember at home was, coming home from school or after school activities or whatever it is that I was doing. And,
Right.
then he would come home from work and we would make dinner on the
What kind
weekends.
of dinner would you make?
He made all kinds of stuff. My favorite thing, we made a lot of pot pies. Like that was,
Really?
yeah, we made them over the weekend and then put them in the fridge or the freezer.
And
then,
did you use a pie crust you made, or did
he
you
made
use-
pie crust from scratch.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was really good. Chicken pot pies, turkey pot pies. We had a lot of Chinese food. Chinese was a specialty. So he went to the Culinary Institute and studied in Taipei for a year and a half when he was
from
young.
the Culinary Institute.
Yeah,
They sent him to
so
Taipei,
they did.
like the CIA.
Yeah, in New York,
Oh.
the original.
I guess that school's okay.
Yeah, it's got a good rep.
I
not
went,
as
to,
good
I
as-
went to Johnson and Wales.
Johnson
so
Wales is fine too.
we
Johnson
kind of have our
Wales is
little
good.
thing going on. You know what I mean?
So he just did a lot of cooking at the house, and it was a lot of fun. He knew a lot of folks that cooked. His chef mentor was an Asian woman that he met when he was at CIA, and they were friends for years and years and years.
But he didn't actually, like, he only cooked. He went to school to learn how to be a
He-
chef, but
right.
didn't actually cook.
He went to
What
school
did
to learn
he
how to
do
be a
for
chef, and
real
he-
career.
Well, he did lots of things. Unfortunately, he was like me. He was kind of a nomad until he figured out what he wanted to do. But his longest tenure was in healthcare.
Okay.
He ran nursing homes and hospitals and did cooking as fun on the side and ate a lot.
But he liked to cook.
But he loved to cook. We had a catering business. When we moved to Pennsylvania, he ran country clubs.
Okay.
So he ran Plymouth Country Club and Green Valley Country Club.
Like the GM or the...
Yeah, he was the GM of the club. He did each one for about 4 years. And during that time, we did catering on the side. I don't. He didn't either. He was a bowler. He's a big guy. He was a big
Not
guy.
that bowling isn't a great sport. I
No,
love to bowl.
bowling-
It's just you don't think of that as like, people never usually say,
Yeah, he was a
I
bowler.
was a bowler.
Yeah,
I'm a bowler.
He was like
people talk about
he was
being
like a 230
golfers
scratch
or-
bowler.
Really?
Yeah, he was good. He was a lefty.
Wow, you don't
yeah,
see that every day.
he had to. I still have his bowling ball actually at the house.
Yeah? Probably can't use it today.
Not today, and I'm a righty, so it doesn't. Thank
Oh,
God.
okay, so
Thank
it
God I'm a
wouldn't
righty.
be okay.
Yeah, right.
That would be a rough time too, because I know, I don't know how old your father is, but there was a time where being like left-handed was, like they tried to teach you not to be left-handed.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, he was pretty ambidextrous. He was born in 36, and they did try to teach him away from being a lefty.
Yeah,
So
like that was
he
a
batted
disease, like you had a
right-handed.
disease, like
Right.
left-handedness or something.
Yeah.
You know?
So he batted right-handed, but he bowled left-handed. He did most things left-handed, but he batted right-handed and threw right-handed.
He played baseball.
He played softball and baseball.
Oh, softball.
Yeah. When the smallest I remember him, like my earliest memories when I was 5 or 6 years old, he was 6 feet tall, and at his biggest he was like 380.
Holy cow!
And a lot of it was because of all of this,
Because he liked food.
because he loved food.
Right.
So he cooked a lot, he ate a lot, he did not exercise a whole lot.
Sounds like my life.
Yeah.
So now I know the path I'm taking.
There you go.
I haven't
You have
hit
to learn how to
380
bowl.
yet, though.
You have to learn
I
how to
actually
bowl.
can bowl pretty good. I'd say I average maybe like 180.
That's pretty good.
So I'm not bad.
That's pretty good.
That was when I did bowl. I haven't bowled in a while.
Okay.
So I say that now. If we went out bowling and I bowled 120, you could laugh at me because
I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
I would.
Okay. We can laugh at ourselves.
Excellent. So
All
we have
right,
our
so
potatoes.
I think we're good,
Potatoes are good.
right? So the other thing that he would do is put the bacon in, right?
And you mentioned you do it in the oven. That's why
Yeah.
I laid it out like
Yeah.
that, which I think is awesome. But
So-
not everybody does that.
I usually do it on a cookie sheet with tin foil, and I just put it in the cold oven and then turn it on 400 and let it cook until it's done.
It's usually like 8-10 minutes.
12,
Somewhere in there?
somewhere in there. And it's nice because it doesn't make a mess.
Okay, so what I did is similar
You
to
did
that.
it. Yeah, I do.
But I put it on a rack
Yep.
because I have a rack.
Yep.
And that way the fat all drips off of it.
See, and I think it's better when you have it in the fat because it cooks
I guess
more.
we're going to see, aren't
But
we?
it's good. You know
What
what?
we like.
It's bacon. It doesn't matter.
Bacon's always delicious.
Yeah.
But one thing I like about doing bacon in the oven is that it stays
Straight. Yeah. It
if you do
doesn't
it in the
all.
pan, it all
yeah.
curls up and gets crazy.
Yeah.
So we'll stick this in the oven
All right.
and let that
And
go.
12 minutes later, we'll come back to that, and it should be good.
Right.
So this we can just leave and let it not stick to the bottom of the pan forever.
Probably, because we talk too much.
Yeah, that's all right. See, those good burnt bits, those are the tasty
They
parts.
call that something in
And
French.
burnt ends.
Fond, I think it is. Isn't that what the burnt stuff is?
Sure. I was in the Army cook program, not
And
the
they
French
didn't.
cook
Oh, they
program.
didn't do that.
No.
The French culinary.
There was no French in our
I think
cooking.
I think it's called fond.
Okay.
And that's what you like. If you were making a sauce, you would then pour like
The
the
sherry or
wine
the water.
sherry,
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
right? And you would
And-
burn that back into it, and that would be where you get all your flavor.
I didn't know there was a name for that. See, I
could be
learned.
wrong.
I learned something
Well,
today.
I hope that we learned something today, and I didn't just spout wrong information because that would be
Somebody
wrong.
will Twitter you and let you know.
Yeah, that's luckily we live in 2015. So then we got to work on the eggs.
Yeah, so that just goes wherever it goes, and now we're going to start with the
We'll
eggs.
set that aside.
And the eggs are pretty straightforward.
So we have eggs.
Yeah. So
You want to crack?
I don't want to.
You could totally
I'll
crack
try
one-handed.
it. I'll try it. So normally
I just want to see if you got the one-handed technique going on.
I don't.
That was actually
wasn't
good.
bad.
No, I don't.
No
there's not even-
shells.
There's not even shell.
No shells. So normally for myself,
How many eggs?
I do a 3-egg for myself.
Oh.
But I
Is it how big's the pan though? Because our pan's only.
yeah, I take out the white of the 3rd egg. So I'm exactly unhealthy.
Yeah, you're doing like nobody does that.
No, but it
Usually
makes
it's
the egg better.
opposite.
It makes
Oh,
the egg
let's-
better. Oh, and I forgot to give you a recipe. I forgot to give you a recipe ingredient.
Uh-oh. What ingredient is it?
Milk. The milk.
I was gonna ask
The
you.
milk lightens up the omelet a little bit, and it makes it
So that-
fluffy.
that-
So waste the white.
So this time I'm wasting the white
Yeah,
over here.
waste the white.
Probably could just stole a yolk from there. There was still
You
whole
could have.
yolks.
That's all right.
So I have milk. I can get us
There you
milk.
go.
if
Okay.
you'd like.
A little bit of milk, right? Lightens it up.
Okay, so I got the milk.
You got the milk. That's like
Excellent.
magic. Very good.
Right, just appeared, right?
Right. So literally, it's just a little
this
like.
is what I'm saying though. So a lot of chefs will argue that milk, because of the higher protein content and stuff, it'll actually cook it. Like, it changes it, that it's actually better to lighten it up with water.
Oh, I would never.
But those same chefs would never have put the extra yolk in. So
And
you're
not
already
the white.
adding, right, you're
Exactly,
adding extra fat anyway, so
exactly.
I don't know what we're worried about.
That's it.
That's it?
2 ounces, real easy. 1.5 ounces, very light.
Very
right?
light.
So then we just
I got to get the
you gotta get
thing
the pan
going,
hot,
right?
Put some butter in there. Right. So don't go nuts, right? You don't want to hurt the eggs. You just want to get them going.
You don't want them aerated.
Correct. You just want them broken up a little bit more. Yeah, that's probably good.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so
And
this
then-
is amazing, because you talk to like omelet chefs and they totally would go against all of this.
Why?
But then your dad was a chef, so I guess that's wrong of me to say
Well,
that.
he might not
I don't know,
be an
because they
omelet
want it to be
chef.
like fluffy and
Nah,
like
it does
French
it on
style.
its
And
own. You do it when you put it in the pan. So when you
Okay.
put it in the pan, you pull it in and pull it in, and it does its thing. That's probably too hot.
I'm guessing that too. It's not like the first time I've made an omelet.
I know.
Maybe,
I'm just saying.
maybe the second.
Maybe just a second. Give it a little more butter.
Oh,
More-
you like
more butter.
more butter, more
butter
better.
is good, right? All right, that's
That
good.
seems like a lot of butter. Okay,
Right, so now you fold it in, and as it starts to set, you just pull the ends, pull the outside.
so I'm dumping this in.
Yep, just dump it in. Right, it's going to start to set almost immediately, right? So then use the fork and just pull the.
Oh, we're using the fork
yeah,
to do it?
just use the fork and you just pull it in a little bit.
Use the fork,
Use the
Luke.
You really don't get out much,
No, I really don't.
right?
Can't wait for the new movie. Anyways,
So the fork pulling it in, it just makes some height in the middle of this omelet,
and that's important.
and that's important. So now we need to get our bacon out, because we actually put some bacon in the omelet while it's cooking,
Well, let's do that then.
right? My wife would not be happy with me if she saw me make an omelet without bacon in it.
Without bacon in it?
Yeah. So the first thing that you put in is some pieces of bacon, right? Look at that, perfect bacon.
Look at that. See how nice
You're
and
such
straight
a
it is?
chef. It's good
I didn't
work.
go to the CIA, I mean, but
All right, so like I would be putting, for me, I'd be putting 2 pieces of bacon and just break them up,
into the wetness.
just right into the wetness, right? That's perfect.
That's not.
Keep going.
Oh,
Keep
okay.
going. Keep going, right? So now you can see it's starting to set up on the outside, but we still got a little bit of wet in the middle. That's what we want.
We want wet in the middle.
Yeah, because we want to have a little bit of time for this guy to all melt. And then we fold it and finish cooking it with it folded on both sides to get
So
the outside
you fold it
free.
now?
Not yet.
I'm
Let's
so
just-
excited
I
to
know.
fold this egg.
All right, so just let it sit there for a minute.
How about now? Do you want
So
to higher?
Look at the edge. No, let's see what it looks like. Just pull the edge back a little bit. Let's see how brown it is underneath. Don't break it. Yep, good to go. Fold
Okay.
it up. Right, so you want a little brown, just a little bit. You're gonna break my omelet, aren't
I'm
you?
probably going to screw your omelet up, yeah.
Just get it going. There, oh, you got the flip and everything. That's not bad. That'll get fixed. Right, so now it just sits. It just sits and cooks for a minute.
I'm
Then
out.
then you flip it. You cook for another 30 seconds. That way you get all the bacon nice mixed in with all the eggs.
That's a big omelet.
It is a big omelet.
It's a good thing you're sharing it.
You want a plate?
Oh, we have plates.
You want to do a plate and get the potatoes out?
Get it all going, man.
All right. 3 forks, huh?
In case you're
for
really
George.
hungry.
All right, give this guy a complete flip. There you go. Perfect. See that? A little brown.
Brown is
well-
good.
Well cooked. So this only sits for like 30 seconds and then you plate it, but we can cut it in half and share.
We can share.
Let's get some potatoes on the plate or on the floor.
Okay,
Floor-
well-
floor's good.
Whoa, I almost lost them all on the
Jeez.
floor. That would have been.
That would have been bad. We would have to
We
start
would have just
all
had.
over.
No, we would have just shared the 4 pieces that were still on there.
All right, it's good stuff. The font at the bottom. Fond.
I think it's fine.
Font?
I could be wrong.
What is
Like
it?
now, the more we say it, the more people are going to look it up and
Whatever.
tell me if I'm wrong.
All right.
Okay,
make,
so
make this look pretty. So cut that in half, right? We got to get the money shot. How do we get the money shot? Get some of the stuff out of the way.
got that.
Right.
Holy cow! Did you see that cheese
Yes,
come
I did.
flying off of there? That would have been a great slow motion shot.
Right. So we got this. Then we take a couple of these guys, and we do this little drape, because you can never have enough bacon. Right. And you got salt and pepper over there.
Oh right, I do have salt and pepper.
Just do a little bit of pepper. Actually, let me move these guys. Do a
Yeah,
little
because
bit
you didn't season your eggs at
I
all.
didn't.
Do you normally?
Not when I
Or
cook
did
them,
I
until
screw it up?
after. A little bit of salt, a little bit of salt on top of that bacon, a little bit of pepper.
Now it's peppered bacon.
Now it's pepper bacon, which Dr. Powell loves.
Everybody
And
loves
that's
peppered
that's
bacon.
our breakfast. Usually we have this with some OJ. I saw you pour some OJ.
I did. I got
Thank
because
you.
I know you don't drink
Yeah,
coffee. I'm not.
I don't. So,
And I didn't have any Coke.
Yeah, so we were talking about that pre-show, right? I usually have soda for breakfast.
Who
since I
does
don't-
that?
I don't drink coffee.
That seems wrong.
So that's our breakfast. Usually I would make 2 of these, and I'd make them with a couple of pieces of toast. My wife and I would sit at the dining room table and have breakfast.
You don't do. You so when you were a kid, did you do it in front of the cartoons?
No, we didn't really watch TV when we ate. When I was young, we didn't
You had
watch
one of those,
TV
like,
when we ate.
Those parents that wanted to raise you right and stuff.
Yeah, we sat and actually had conversations at the kitchen table, or the dining room table.
We did too. I don't want my parents to be watching something. Of course, we did all that stuff too. It was great, great times. I
So
didn't sit around
do
watching
we
TV
actually
all
eat
the
this
time.
now? Do we want to?
Yeah, let's go. I
want
to see. No, I want to see what this.
This looks like a perfectly
If I
good
made the
omelet.
perfect omelet or not.
Should be nice and tough on the outside, a little bit of bite to it, and it's hot.
You're hot.
Normally these guys are a little softer, but they taste good. You got a piece right there.
For later.
I bet the bacon's great.
Is it the right crispiness?
Yeah, it
Some
is.
people
It's
like
perfect.
it.
I don't like it too crispy. Right? Good job. Nice
That's
job
the
on
beauty
bacon.
of ovens with bacon.
You can stop
Is you
it.
can control
Yeah.
when it's the right
Yeah.
chewiness. I used to
And
work at a
orange
place
juice.
where they would pre-do all the bacon,
And leave it. Yeah.
and then when the order came up, they would drop it in the deep fryer
exactly.
to
Yeah.
crispen it up. I
Or
always
put
thought
it
that
on
was
the
good
flat
times.
grill. So
So-
that's breakfast, and that's. I do this with Dana. My wife's name is Dana. I do this with Dana about once a month, maybe once every month and a half, because she's a lot more healthy than I am. So most of the time on the weekend, she has smoothies or fruit, and this doesn't really fit into that whole.
No.
With all the butter and the extra yolk.
Nothing like making you look bad, right?
That's fine. It's fine. She can make me look bad all the time. The extra yolk just adds a lot more flavor, I think,
It does.
to the whole thing.
I've
And
never done that. I
that
never
little
thought about
milk.
doing that. It
Yeah.
looks a little yellower too. Thanks.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thanks
you
for stopping
having
by.
me.
This was
Yeah.
great.
I'm gonna keep eating.
Like I said, I love making breakfast with my daughter on the weekends. We'll have to try the extra yolk omelet.
See
I
if
can't
she
wait.
likes it.
Thanks again for joining us on Baker Day Presents. And special thanks to Jason Levy for coming by and making breakfast. It was quite delicious. Join us again next time on Baker Day Presents. And remember, every recipe has a story.